This is the truth you won't like about a full-time music career. It's going to take time, it's going to take skill, and it's going to take money. Not in that order, but you're going to have all those things. It's going to take time to do, so you're going to have to spend a lot of time doing it. I talk to so many people who say, I just don't have any time to do music. I'm working full time. When would I ever do music? I don't have any time. When I get done with my job, I come home and then the kids and then dinner and then with my wife, or I'm watching TV, and then I go to sleep and wake up the next day, do the same thing. And then on the weekends, we got to do this and that and the other thing. If you can't find time to do music, if you want to do it full time, you're going to have to treat it like a job. I try very hard to treat this like a job and work it from 9 to 6 or so, and try to do all the things inside that time. If I go and work out, if I go and do something else for the day, well, I am cutting into that time. I am responsible for losing that time. I have to make that up somehow. You've got to have skill. You've got to be able to be a professional at this and or know people who can do it for you or do it with you. And you've got to have probably some money to continue to do this, because you've got to bring money in to buy new orchestral plugins and things like that. Some gear to start. You have to have something. You're going to have to sacrifice like you never have sacrificed in your life to make music a full-time pursuit, to make music your job. And you're going to have patience over the course of years. And you're going to continue to have patience. You're going to have patience that money is going to come in, and you're going to have to build a schedule of how to pay your bills based on when money comes in. Now, I personally have put together a plan where I have people pay me on the 1st and on the 15th. And then I have other times people pay me things. And for the most part, I try to line all my bills up on the 1st or the 15th. So that way, so when the money's there, it's almost like a regular job. And this is something I discovered probably about 10 or 15 years ago. And instead of just taking money for every music job that I did, I started putting people on a monthly retainer. And I do a certain amount of work for them. I work for them every week. At the end of every month, I say, okay, here's what we're going to do next month. And here's what I'm always telling them what we're focused on. And so I'm getting money in from my clients on the 1st and the 15th, just like a regular job. You can set it up this way if you want to. This is the truth you're probably going to like the least. You're going to have to work your butt off. I mean, you're going to be, whether you're a producer, whether you're working in sync, whether you're an artist, you are going to have to do it more than anybody else that's out there doing it. So if you're a producer and you want to make all your money producing people in the studio or produce them in your home or whatever, you better be getting jobs and jobs and jobs and be on them every day. This isn't a make music when you want to and then hope you have enough for rent. It doesn't work that way. You have to be doing more work than the next guy. That is a key. More work means more money coming in. If you're in sync and you want to make sync your thing, well, you're going to have go back to the patience thing that I talked about, because this is going to take a while to build. Unless, of course, you're a producer who is producing for sync and you have a sync agent and they are working your songs. But even that, there's no guarantee that the song that you work on all week is going to be taken and there's going to be $2,000 come from that. There's just no guarantee. So you better be busting it on probably some other jobs at the same time and have other jobs going on that you know pay, and be watching those clients every month. Be looking at what you've got projected to come in and make sure that you've got more than you need for your bills. And if you don't, you need to go find more clients. And how you find clients is also very tough. It's another truth you're not going to like. If you're an artist, you're going to have to get out more than other artists. You're going to have to get out there and play, and you're going to have to bust it. So you can see, this is not easy. Likely, like I said earlier, you're going to have one big music income that's going to make this most possible. And that big income may not be your dream income. For me, it's producing. Well, producing other people is not my dream. My dream is to write music. So what I've tried to do is make the producing that I'm doing involve composing and or co-composing. And that, if I'm able to do that, and or I'm working with someone who I know in the back end there's going to be money, which you never know for sure, then I will do that. But you're going to have one big income. And that big income could be producing in a studio, and you get paid by the studio, or you get paid by clients, and you work at, you're full up every day. It could be a church job where you are a music director at a church or a music person at a church. Could be a school teaching job where you teach at a school, teaching about music. Could be mixing jobs for sports teams, for live events, for churches, for all that kind of stuff. And that pays you enough to pay the bills. It could be gigs. A lot of people, and some of you watching, probably make a good amount of money with gigs. And the other truth you won't like is you're going to have to work while you wait for the other things to grow, like the things that you really want, the passive incomes, the licensing, streaming, royalties. You're going to have to do work, the active work that I talked about, while you're waiting for that passive income to happen.